red balsamic vinegar, right? So when you're making a vinaigrette, typical standard measurements ratio is 3 to 1. 3 parts oil to 1 part vinegar. And that's just to break up the bitterness, the sharpness of the acid, the vinegar, whether it's lemon juice, vinegar, whatever, right? 3 parts oil to 1 part vinegar. So whatever your measurements are, a teaspoon to 3 teaspoons, half a teaspoon to 3, so it'll be a teaspoon and a half, right? That kind of thing. So that's how you measure it when you're making that dressing. So you can eyeball it. You don't have to measure. You can eyeball it, but just kind of try to keep it in check with each other so you get a proper balance. Just give your cilantro a rough chop. About just under 10 minutes on the chicken. We're going to have a look at it. It's probably fine, but I just want to make sure it's cooked around the bones and all that stuff. You don't want to have blood in there, right? You want to make sure it's cooked. So, put that off to the side. What are you guys talking about, man? D4, what are you guys up to? Okay, so what we're going to do now is I'll show you the dressing. So here's the bit of garlic, right? That's the little bit of garlic in the bowl there. Grab a whisk. Clean whisk. You're going to use some balsamic or whatever vinegar you like, right? Is that a tablespoon maybe? So let's start with that. Olive oil. 3, maybe 4, maybe 5 tablespoons. Look at the balance, right? Look at the difference in color, right? So now put a bit of salt in there. We have to taste it. So you basically want more oil than vinegar or acid, right? Like I said. Put maybe a 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt. About the same with the pepper. And just whisk it in. Not bad. It's not bad. A little bit more vinegar, a little bit more. So you saw how much oil I put. I knew I put too much. A little bit more vinegar in there. It's almost there, but not quite. Just a tad more. I'm also going to hit it with a little bit of mustard. Oh, no problem, D4. I figured. I just want to get in on the action. So you can use yellow mustard, dry mustard. Or you can use Dijon mustard. So I'm going to use that. maybe a teaspoon, half a teaspoon, Dijon. Dijon's really nice mustard, goes with a lot of things. You can get good balance out of it. Adds a nice layer to the dressings and stuff. Marinades and dressings and stuff. Tiny bit more balsamic. Tiny. Now, tiny because the mustard's going to have vinegar in it, right? So let's taste it, see what's going on here now. I think it's good. Tastes good to me. So we're good with that. So because we added the mustard, like I said, we added a bit of acid, vinegar, right? So we needed to add more vinegar, so I just cut back on what I added because of the vinegar and the mustard. You got to think about what you're adding to things and what's in them, right? Like I just showed you. So that's done. Now, so the dressing's done, the cilantro's done, the garnish is done. If you didn't want to use the red onion, or if you want to use both, you could use spring onion or chives with the red onion if you want. But I'm going to be adding the chopped cilantro, which is going to give me that green bit of color and taste. So you can do multiple flavoring adjustments if you want. So now if you want to be really accurate, right? You could measure, right? I'll just show you with a measuring 1 cup measure. That's 1 cup if you guys want measurements, right? 2 cups, 3 cups. So let's have a look at that. 3 cups of chickpeas, a couple of tablespoons of the garnish, right? Let's look at it. This is what I'm talking about. It has to appeal to the eye, right? So if your eye's not seeing a balance, you'll pick up on it. You'll pick up on it. Right? I think it looks pretty good. It's kind of dry. It's kind of hard to move. So let's add our dressing to it. So the garlic now has also had a chance to permeate, blend with the oil and vinegar, right? So it's had time to wake up and activate, I guess would be the proper terminology.